Just ahead, a closer look at DoD's push to get MRAPs to the field. Welcome back to This Week in the Pentagon. Mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, or MRAPs, are making their way into Iraq, gradually replacing the up-armored Humvee, but not without challenges. The trucks have been so well received from the Pentagon to the warfighter that the pressure point is not the budget, but the production. The MRAP integration project, where high-end electronics like radios and jammers are installed, began at SPAWAR in March. Defense Department officials promised 1,500 in theater by the end of this year. Right now, they say, there are about 500.
Meeting that goal, can you explain how are you going to get about 1,000 MRAPs to Iraq in such a short period of time?
Well, first of all, there's a significant ramp up in production between August and October.
There's a huge deadline pressure.
The speed to capability is the overriding factor or variable that we're attending to.
This is where trucks pull in by the ton and teams converge, pulling cables, wires, and installing high-security electronic gear.
Just reassembling the shock mount, so had it mounted, and then you got the ground points. You need the silicone to keep the water out, moisture.
But the work is more specific than that. There are 3 categories of MRAPs produced by half-dozen vendors, each with their own specifications.
We prototype the design of the vehicle as far as the capability package. We actually lay that out in regard to where would be the best place to put these antennas, the different sensors, the different monitors.
After we've done a prototyping of a vehicle, let's say a force protection Cat 1, let's say, then we just put them through an integration process where we just do that however many hundreds of times we have to.
Once an installation becomes routine, lines move faster, and managers hope faster and faster.
I have roughly 10 people that work for me here on a full-time basis, 100% devoted to process improvement.
Shrinking the time it takes to turn an MRAP from a defensive vehicle to an offensive one. And that alone is motivation enough for workers here. Many are vets. Most have family or friends who are deployed.
My son's deployed twice to Afghanistan. I got a daughter who plays next year. I have a nephew right now in Iraq. So it really, definitely motivates you. We feel very closeness to the products that we are delivering over for the warfighter.
Well, they love these things. They want more. So that's what we're trying to do, get them out to them as quickly and safe as possible.
Come evening, second shift is underway. The work of the day, or maybe the week, rolls off the grounds of the naval base and is prepared for airlift.
We have a really motivated workforce here that just puts their heart into making sure these trucks is literally ready to fight when it leaves this building. We don't want to have to put a burden on the forces in theater to have to do something to the truck to fix it when it gets there. We want it to show up there ready to go.
I cannot say enough about how proud I am of the workforce that's here and the contribution that they're making. Every angle, every margin, every opportunity to do this better, more effectively, more efficient, I can tell you this workforce is poised to do that. And that's their goal. 6 vendors currently make MRAP vehicles. All of them funnel into the SPAWAR facility we just showed you. It's the last point of contact in the U.S. before the MRAPs are shipped overseas. And for workers on those lines, that final touch is a personal one.
I want to be here at least 30 minutes early. Repetitive tasks.
Day by day goes by, and even working here and knowing what it's for, your mind slips sometimes and you forget and you get into it. It's still a job, but when you stop and think about it, there's certainly an emotional attachment.
The title mechanical engineer doesn't often strum the heartstrings, but in a few months, electronics Brian Vizdak positioned precisely an arm's length from the driver's seat could save his brother's life.
My brother is a first lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He will be deploying for his second tour in Iraq in the coming months, and I certainly hope that we can get his unit as many of these trucks as possible before he returns to theater.
15% of the workers at SPAWAR are veterans.
Almost everyone is installing protective equipment with a loved one in mind.
Starting at the top and all the way throughout our command, our employees, all of us have a son or a daughter, a brother, a relative of some sort that are using the very vehicles that we are working on here.
And everyone who works on each truck signs a certificate mounted visibly near the gear.
It's very personalized. This document will go around, even if it gets a coffee stain or a tear, we still plan to use this certificate.
6 days a week, 10-hour shifts, a seemingly endless line of steel and parts.
They're needed, desperately. The Humvees ain't cutting it anymore. They're getting blown up left and right.
These are a lot better, and I'm real comfortable putting people in them.
It's a driving force within me because it really feels like I'm still in the Marine Corps.
We go over there to defend our country, but you know, if we can come back alive, that's the ultimate goal. So if it just saves people's lives, and that's awesome. That's very awesome.
I'm spoiled. Spoiled because we have such a charged, energized workforce.
The benefit of this project is you can actually see the magnitude of what you're doing. Oftentimes you're just working on a subcomponent and you don't get to see the end product. Here, when the vehicle rolls out, you're seeing an end product. That is extremely motivational.
At the end of the day, there's no clock to punch, no speeches, just a sense of duty. Done.
Paycheck's a great thing to have, but going home with knowing that you accomplished something is even better.